What's
Yeah,
up,
it's
guys?
good.
What's up, guys? We got Matthew Brewer on here. We got Mike here too. But Matthew just closed his first wholesale
Yep.
deal, and it's in Nevada. That's where Matthew's located. He has a little bit of background in real estate, as you can see. He is a realtor, but he joined the program. How many months ago did you join?
Probably about 4 to 5 months ago.
Okay. So yeah, he's been showing up to every single call that we have that he can make. He's been really putting in the time and the energy, making the calls, doing the things you got to do, and just got his first deal closed. And believe us, it was not an easy one. So,
Yeah.
Matthew, if you want to kind of take the reins here and explain that deal, how you got the lead, and then the timeline that you were working with to get this thing closed.
No, yeah, for sure. So yeah, I'm Matt. So I'm based in Las Vegas, and yeah, I got a hold of Ben's program and Mike's training, and it's been super impactful for me just to hit the ground running. So it's setting up like the basics for the system. So being able to pull the leads from the county website specifically is what I do, like in the training. So pulling them from the recorder site and then just calling them and nurturing them. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Getting as many touches as I can. And, it's little discouraging at first just because, it takes practice, takes reps to be able to practice what to say, how to respond to certain objections. And a lot of the times, you just got to be a person, you just got to care. And I think that's when I started coming from a place of, oh, I am knowledgeable enough to really help these people, and I'm calling because I just want to help them, regardless whether they want to stay in their house or sell. I'm just coming from a place to be that resource to them because most of these people are in really, dark times in their life. So they really need somebody to help them get to that next chapter. And with this lady in particular, she actually inbounded from a text message, and it was a text message video. So I incorporate bonbon videos into it as well. So it's the same smart campaigns that Ben teaches. I just added in a couple videos like he instructed. So added that in. She called me, and her auction date was probably about 10 days from when she called me. So it was very tight. She, kind of waited till the last minute, but it was a unique situation in the sense that she lives in California. So it's a vacant property, investment property. She had a family member pass away. A lot of these people do have a tragic situation going on, was paying for all his medical stuff, kind of let the investment property slip, tried to sell it earlier in the year, but didn't. And now she had this auction date coming up. So the biggest thing for me was, okay, we got to move quickly on this, but just kind of gain trust with her because I'm still kind of a random person. She just saw a video of me. So just went through her options, went through how a loan modification, it was just kind of too late for that. Reinstatement was out of the picture for her. But she wanted to take out a loan to pay off her reinstatement, which, when you're in foreclosure because you're default on another loan, that's unfortunately not an option. Now, I did call the lender I'm partnered with just to be able to at least say, hey, I vetted this out for you, but it's not an option.
Okay.
She really wanted to keep the property, but she knew, okay, I need to sell or else I'm going to lose the property. So I was able to, she inbounded Thursday. I got it under contract Sunday. And that was a big challenge in the sense that, she knew what the house may be worth at retail. Um, and her expectation was to net like $100,000, which is highly unrealistic in this case. So it was, and this was really helpful from you, Ben, and Mike, was being able to reframe her mindset and just using numbers, right? Not saying she's stupid or anything, but just going through, okay, this is actually what's selling on the market today. And then this is the difference of doing the cash offer because typically closings take, say 30, 60 plus days. We literally have to close in like 3 business days is what we ended up closing in. So it takes a very unique buyer and the title companies and all of us working together around the clock to really push this. Um, so
Perfect.
after that, was able to get her to a more appropriate contract price, sign the contract, and then that week was, game time with doing the actual close. So reach out to my title company who I got recommended to them, but had to just figure out that process of, okay, like they knew of me like 3 months ago when I introduced myself, but
Yeah.
they probably forgot about me. So I had to kind of reintroduce myself, get that submitted. get escrow open, and then had an initial end buyer. And this was partly from just Ben's coaching with trying to join local meetup groups for investors, and was able to come across a guy that actually, small world, knows Ben. So that was a good connection right there. And then, he was my first thought of it, and introduced the deal to other people as well, but he was the one that stuck with it originally. But so a day or so goes by, and then he has to back out just based off of the timing with his hard money lender, however much it just the deal didn't pencil for him, which
Yeah,
is fine. But
and you were set
yeah,
to make what, 3 grand on that one if you would have gone with his deal?
yeah, I would only made 3 grand, and part of that was because I knew that I did the numbers. It was a tight deal, and I still wanted the home owner to make something. Like I just ethically, in my part, like I want to do the best I can for her, and he. Hit the numbers. He kept trying to push it down, right? Because I mean, that's the job. It's business. I get it. But yeah, that was something where I'm okay. No, I gotta stick my ground a little more with this next investor, hopefully. So did my part, had to really work to be okay. I gotta find a new buyer.
So this
And
was what,
yep,
Wednesday of that week? You got the contract on what, Sunday or
yeah,
Saturday?
contract on Sunday.
Contract on
Yep,
Sunday.
that
You
started.
started title work on Monday. You found the buyer on Monday, the original buyer on Monday too?
Yeah, Monday night through Tuesday, but then by Tuesday night he backed out.
Okay. And the
So
foreclosure is the following Monday. So you have to get
yeah,
this done by Friday.
yeah. So 3 more business days, essentially. So on Wednesday, I found the guy. Now, title already kind of was starting the process of it, but they're like, hey, like we need to know who's going to buy this. And
Yep.
during all this time, too, Ben, we were calling the lender to try to see if we can postpone the auction date. And that was definitely an experience learning how to deal with that. But
Yeah.
to no surprise, they didn't delay it, so they weren't going to budge. Um, just in this situation, I mean, it's lender to lender, depends, but
Yeah.
yeah, so that's where on Wednesday had the new end buyer and he could close cash. And part of that was okay, like he knows the situation, like he's not going to get the deal if it doesn't close in time, but at the same time, he could try to use some of that to advantage for him. So I tried getting it at more of like a 13K assignment fee, which seemed appropriate, and it was still a good deal for him. It's not amazing, but it's still a good deal. But there were some holes that, just with the timeline, having to talk with the homeowner so quickly, I brushed over some of the details on the house. Like when it was listed, it said that the tile in the upstairs bedroom wasn't done yet. So that was the one kind of hole that I left out, and he found that, and was able to deduct from that price about 6 grand, which, knowing now, I know, okay, like I shouldn't have let him do that, or maybe a grand or two, but not the full six. But it's okay, it's a learning experience. Was still able to get him, and this is also after he signed the assignment agreement.
Yeah.
So this is where, knowing now, like, okay, nothing's done until they send in their money to title.
Correct.
So I didn't realize, and that was also like the first buyer backed out after signing the assignment agreement.
Yep.
So
And you can get
yes,
messages, but there's just, what's the
yeah,
point of doing that? There,
Mhm.
you're not going to make any money. You're going to go spend money on attorneys. That's not fun.
No, yeah, I definitely don't want to do that. And
Yep. So you guys were able to get that thing closed by Friday and get the deal done?
yep. So on Friday, so that was Wednesday, yeah, Thursday. We really needed the payoff though to be able to close. And talking with this lender, like I was on them basically like multiple times a day, and the guy, I mean, he got so annoyed, like he emailed saying, "Stop calling, or I won't reply." But then we got the payoff involved, and they submitted it basically Friday morning.
Mm-hmm.
But title was already ready to go, had estimates. So once that payoff came in, then the new buyer wired in his money. They did all the signings on both ends, the buyer and the seller. And yeah, we got the recording Friday afternoon that it was officially recorded. So,
And
so
then you're
yeah,
going
now,
to get what, Monday?
yeah, Monday. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but funny nuance to that too is when I was calling title to make sure everything was good, when I saw the sheet, I'm like, oh, by the way, like, do you need my banking information? And she was like, oh, what do you mean? I didn't see there was a realtor on this or a broker. And I'm like, oh, like I kind of like I told them in the very beginning, but I should have specified like, oh, this is, the purchase price I think was 264, but the original contract was 257. The final purchase price was 264. So that 7K is my, I think I said assignment fee, but
Yeah.
however they classify it on the net
Yeah.
sheet. So, but I had to specify that. So that was a rookie moment too, going through that.
You got paid, so who cares?
Yeah. Yeah. I went through. So
Good job.
yeah.
Done.
But yeah, long-ended story, but at least you got a picture
Yeah.
now how
Got the deal
how it
done.
happened.
Yep. Made 7 grand, got the deal done, on to the next.
Yep.
That is
No,
a,
yeah.
One
that is a
question,
hell of a
Matt.
deal for the first one.
What would you
Yep.
say the biggest lesson is that you took from the first deal?
You got to stay persistent. And there's going to be times when you feel like, okay, you want to quit or you want to give up or you're like, man, all the odds are against me, but you just got to stick with it. Take the punches, as Rocky would say. I watched some of those motivational videos while I was doing it. I just needed a little bit of extra time, especially when
Yep.
the buyer was like, oh, I got to back out and all that the night before type thing. So I'm like, okay, I just got to stick with it. I can do this. And, I have the support with you guys. So, I mean, that was instrumental too. And then I could even see too from a JV perspective how, okay, once you get interested potential seller, it's like you'd handle, I guess I wouldn't call it the hard part, but you'd handle this part. So, but I'm confident either way, either doing it the dispo myself or doing that. So
Good.
it's the biggest thing.
Well, good job. That's a hell of a deal for your first one.
Thanks.
Hopefully the rest of them will not be that difficult.
Hopefully not. I don't
Yeah.
think so. We'll see.
But I got to
Yeah,
tell you, I
it's
mean,
better.
if you got 10 days before closing and you can make 7 grand in 10 days, there's a lot of people that would take 7 grand in 10 days.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, and shoot, it was probably 10 days or less than that, or slightly longer than I even inbounded from her too. So from the first conversation till then was less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, it's pretty quick.
Love it.
Yes.
Yep. And that was a house that you didn't even ever see. Like you never stepped foot in that house, right?
No, I never stepped foot. The only time I just, as a courtesy, like the homeowner had to mail me the keys, because she doesn't live here, lives in LA, and she had no way of entering the property because it's vacant. So she literally had to mail me them. There's no like keypad on the garage or anything.
Yeah.
So she had to mail it. Then I just dropped it off to the seller, and I was curious. I actually wanted to see like, okay, is this tile done or not? Because and it was done. But
It was done.
yeah, it was done. Yeah. So I wanted to see it. It's okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, they made a little bit more and you still made your 7 grand and got a deal done.
Yeah. No,
Congrats.
yeah. No, that I'll definitely always remember that moment when seeing that hit the bank account. I'm like, all these months, it was worth it. And it's just the beginning. So
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
super stoked for that.
Love it. Well, good job, dude.
Thanks.
There's a lot of people that are going to take a lot from this conversation going, I'm sitting here making phone calls and, I'm just not getting the results that I want. And should I quit? Should I quit? Should I quit? No. No,
Oh
look,
yeah.
I mean, 7 grand. That's worth it every day of the week. And now you know how to handle all of these objections that they're throwing at you. You know how to handle these struggles with finding a buyer. You know how to negotiate with buyers. You know how to do all of these things now, which are not only going to help in your real estate career, but in life in general. Like
Mhm.
you can probably call BS on people now when they say things like that. You're like, oh, come on. That's not
Yep.
true. I know you're pulling my leg here. So
Yeah.
a lot of
No,
different
yeah.
things you learn going through this.
Yep. And last thing too, I'd say too, is like I have a 9 to 5. Like I'm like a finance manager for a gaming tech company. So that's where I am right now, actually. And doing all this, finding ways to dial, whether it's like before work, at lunch, after, throughout the day like this, I just block off time. So it's just, how bad do you really want it? And how bad do you want to stick with it? I think is the biggest thing that I've taken away from it.
Yep.
And just hearing your story and Mike's story is really inspiring to know, like you just got to stick with it. And those results will compound over time.
For sure. Yeah, and I'm sure the guys at work were like, "Oh, what'd you do this weekend?" "Oh, I made 7 grand.
Yeah.
Guys made 7 grand. You guys are
Yeah.
doing the finance thing, and I'm out here building side hustle. Made 7 grand on
Bought and sold a
Yeah.
$20,000 house.
it." Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
No,
You
but
know?
still, like 80% of people would have quit, Matt. And like I've been seeing you dial the last 5 months. I'm sure there were ups and downs in there.
Mhm.
And I find that funny. Like one person will think about spending 5 months on something and they'll be like, oh man, like that's an eternity. Even 4 months. Like I said, I think 3 months is probably like the 3 to 4 is like the cutoff where most people would quit in the grand scheme of things. Like even if you went another 6 months, let's say this deal took you 12 months, you made 7 grand and all the lessons that came with it. Do you think it would be
Yeah.
worth like would you do it again if it took you 12 months to do one deal?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, it took me 4 years to get a degree, and then like another one to get my master's. So I'm like, that's 5 years right there.
Yep.
And I actually had to pay more money to do that. And
Yeah.
yeah, no, it definitely is worth it. So I mean, it's just perspective, how you look at it. Like you gotta get the foundation in and get the reps in real life.
Love it.
Yeah.
Good
I'm
deal.
excited to see how fast the second deal will come.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping it's next month. I mean, I want to keep it going,
Yeah.
keep the train going.
We've got some things in the works that may help with that. So, if we haven't done it yet today, we'll tease that at some point. But yeah, we've got some things in the work that should help.